but I thank some of you that are here now and some others that have helped financially and loaned money and given money. And, you know, it's part of this realm of overwhelm that I've lived in where the finances are just one part of it. My life, so many people would consider a disaster in so many areas. There are so many areas of my life that most people would have no tolerance for ever having in their life at all. And I'm getting really, really present to the extreme disempowerment that all of those situations hold for me, and this like deep, 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 deep well of disempowerment that I've been in for so long, and the total intolerance that I'm having for it now because of the total necessity for everything that I'm sharing with you about Uniting for Action being alive in the world. It's been a journey for the last 20 years of Jared getting Jared out of the way enough to allow all of this out. And some of you have seen some of that toil at different times over that period of time, but it's always been some variation of that. And now we're at the point where you guys are seeing some very tangible products, business tracks, you know, ways to really have what we're having, you know, alive in the world. And I'm simultaneously getting, you know, that for me, it's sharing my own messes in my life, and I'm about to start doing that on the website, sharing my like disaster of a room, sharing my disaster of my finances, all the extreme sacrifices that I've made, that my family has made, on and on and on and on. Some of you have shared privately with me your concerns about some of it. Some of you shared publicly. Michael, we talked about it last time, you know, where some things you've shared privately with me and some things we've talked about in the open. And, you know, I'm getting more and more and more, and I appreciate you, Michael, and all of you, and those of you that aren't here but have played a role in helping me address all of this. And what I've been realizing is that I've crawled into this hole for the last 6 years, as I've shared with you guys, where I withdrew from the world completely. No more social relationships, no more social media, no more interaction with the world. I went into this self-imposed monastery, and I didn't understand it at the time. I shared this with some of you. I didn't understand at the time that that's what I was doing until I was so deep in it that I understood what the purpose of a monastery was. I never even understood it before till I had built one for myself. And I was living in it, and I was living the life of a monk devoted to what you're seeing now, the, you know, different phases of it ago. And now that I have this, this, you know, way of bringing it all out, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought where I was.
Take a breath, honey. Just take a breath.
Yeah,
Just
this is
breathe.
really good. This is really good, Jared.
Just take a breath, honey. Just breathe in. Just let it go.
Yeah, I understand, and I understand, Michael, and I thank you. And it's part of what I've been getting, and thank you, Birch, for that. It's part of what I've been getting is that I have all of these pieces of shame all over my life, all scattered around me everywhere, reminders, and another reason to be ashamed, and another reason to be ashamed, another reason. And I know that I have to address all of that, and I have to clean all that up, and I have to do everything. And just like you've been saying, Michael, and I appreciate, you know, you for the voice that you've been from the beginning of how, you know, I have to address what there is for me. And so I remembered what I was saying with the monastery. I apologize that I lost my train of thought, is that I had I narrowed my life down to such a degree. I had neglected everything. I mean, finances is just one thing, but just so many things, just neglected everything that could be neglected and avoided to the highest degree to focus just singularly on this mission. And so with all of that, you know, carrying all of that, and now, you know, being in this place of birthing it all, I need all of your support and everybody. The reason, again, that I'm sharing this with all of the world is so that everybody can support me wherever they can support me to get this all out. And what I'm doing is I'm creating that model for all of you and for everybody to get all the support that we could all use in all of the areas of our lives to be able to be the most divine expression of ourselves. So I'm getting that this is a big part of what this system is, and what's getting systematized is our way of using the tools and the systems as the mirror to allow the people who can see what's coming up when the mirror, when people get reflected in that mirror, and support them where they're at.